Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. It's my first time here in Bratislava, so dobre rano. Huh? I would like to talk to you today about OpenFaaS with Kubernetes. And first, let me introduce myself once more. My name is Özlem de Grave. I'm an independent professional. I'm working now for over 18 years for banking and finance industry. And I'm always into learning new skills, and currently I'm looking into very interesting topics like cloud computing, data analytics, machine learning. And if you would like to contact me, do not hesitate, and here is my email address. In my talk, I planned it in two parts. At the beginning, I would like to talk about the theoretical part of OpenFaaS, and then the second half will be a demo, live demo, about all the things what we talk about at the beginning. So here we go. In the past, and in the so-called old IT, the whole IT infrastructure was owned by the customer. Yeah? They bought it, they built it by themselves, and they customized it. And this customization requires some coding, and then you need to implement it. Yeah? And after this, you use it, and you manage everything by yourself. But things are changing. Technology is changing very rapidly at the moment. And enterprises need to change both their technology and their pace and culture. It's the time of the new IT. So nowadays, we have anything as a service market. You rent it. You don't buy it anymore. You don't own it. And you don't customize. You are configuring it. And this means to configure, you get something out of the box. It's a solution, and you can change its behavior and all the features into that what you would like to have for your business needs. Yeah? And then you can use it, and you share it, comparing to all the days you used to own it by yourself, and now you share it with others. And the very important point about this is you manage less and less. Look at this. These are the cloud service models. As mentioned before, in the light yellow, you see the self-hosted part. This is the part what I mentioned with the old IT. This is that what you manage. And the dark yellow shows us you manage less and less. The one, this is the full IT stack of a customer. And let's take a look. So we start from the self-hosted, which offers full control of a company infrastructure. We manage less and less, but we hand out also the control, to someone else. It's the provider. If we just take a look, the first part is the infrastructure as a service, The hardware is there, virtualized, and this can still be very complex to build and manage and to maintain. Then, the next one is the platform as a service. So you manage here the functions and the applications, and the developers build and deploy custom applications on the chosen platform there. The next one is function as a service. We will go in the next minutes a little bit deeper into that. The customer can develop there and run and manage their functionalities. But the whole infrastructure below it is abstracted away on function as a service. And at the end, the dark yellow part is the new IT. This is software as a service, and everything is delivered. Here are only the end-user applications and solutions delivered as a service. before we get into FaaS, function as a service, it's important to understand another term. This is serverless computing. That involves no servers, no virtual machines, or containers to provision or to manage, yeah? Their presence is definitely abstracted away. And the allocation of the resources is managed by the cloud provider instead of the application architect, and this can bring definitely serious benefits. I would like to show you here the explanation from Technopedia, what I found about function as a service. I would like to read this. So, like all as a service models, yeah, function as a service is a method of using cloud technology to enable higher efficiency of computer workflows and processes.
That's what I expected. Yeah, nice.
It was first introduced in 2014
and once you have chosen, you will never leave here.
Hook.io. For the ones who have no idea who Hook.io is, this is a leading open source provider for microservices and webhooks.
There is a person with a white Opel Meriva license plate TT581.
Amazon Web Services has pioneered the serverless space with Lambda.
So I'm not going to look around and point.
And then came Google with cloud functions and Microsoft with the Azure functions.
License plate TT581.
In addition, there is IBM with
OpenFaaS.
OpenWhisk.
The car because some food carts can't move through.
So what is FaaS?
Thank you.
Yeah? What is function as a service? Function as a service is a new architectural pattern.
Yeah. There you go, now I can see the audience.
No concerns for implementing, tweaking, or scaling a server, at least to the perspective of the user. Your business logic is modular and conform to minimal shippable unit sizes. There are different sources for all these events. You can attach each function to each other and build a chain. Yeah? So, for example, one web request is writing the request result into a queue, and another function is reading this queue and gives out the result. There are many use cases for OpenFaaS. There are the webhooks, chatbots, IT automation, yeah, and many others. This list is not complete for who is hosting FaaS as a function, function as a service. Here are some of the major cloud providers who offer serverless computing. We have Amazon with Lambda, we have Microsoft with Azure, IBM with OpenWhisk, and we have also Google with cloud functions. Yeah? This is just an extraction of some major cloud providers. But a very often heard argument against function as a service concerns to the vendor lock-in. Because once you are using function as a service platform by one of the before mentioned cloud providers, it is very difficult to move to another provider because each FaaS platform is specific to that provider. And if you ever wanted to go to a different provider, you are really in a hard situation that you don't have a serverless framework. The open source projects are very interesting alternatives for this, for organizations that want to avoid this vendor lock-in and who want to use a private or hybrid cloud or any other alternative. Here, we see an extraction of some open source projects. Yeah? These ones allow you to deliver serverless computing on your own infrastructure. These platforms are using an open source development model, and they are backed by a primary sponsor. You can see here in the parentheses the backers. So from Fission, we have Platform 9 or Kubeless with Bitnami, Knative with Google, or Firecracker and Amazon. Because I want to become my own provider, and I like keeping the full control, I decided for open source project OpenFaaS. Because OpenFaaS, yeah, allows you to run your own functions anywhere. You can use the container technology, and you can convert any process into a serverless function with this. Regardless of the programming language, you just upload modular chunks of functionality into the cloud, and then you can execute them. They will be scaled automatically, yeah, and independently. OpenFaaS can run on any platform. Here are some features of OpenFaaS. OpenFaaS delivers an user GUI, very easy to use, and from there you can go into the store. The so-called store keeps a list of functions. These functions are already tested by the community, and with one click you can deploy them. You can write functions in any language, then package them into the Docker image format. You can talk to them with standard in, standard out. They are all portable. They run on existing hardware or private, public cloud. Of course, Kubernetes and Docker Swarm native. You have the command line CLI with YAML format for templating and defining the functions, and you have the auto-scaling. Here we go. So, oops, sorry. This is a high-level view, yeah, on the building blocks of OpenFaaS. So we have on the one side the API gateway. Yeah. This is managing and organizing all the requests which are coming in, and API is doing the routing. On the other hand, we have the function watchdog. This is the entry point. Yeah. This allows the HTTP request to be forwarded to the target process. This function watchdog is a tiny Golang web server. And it is responsible for starting, monitoring functions in OpenFaaS. Let me talk. It's okay. All right. And this function watchdog is very important for the life cycle of a container. It can support concurrent requests or timeouts or health checks. Yeah. Your code will be packaged inside a small Docker container together with the watchdog component. Kubernetes and Docker Swarm, what we have here, they do the heavy lifting when you have many containers. They are for the orchestration. And then we have Prometheus, provides metrics and enables for auto-scaling. It's using an alert manager. Prometheus uses this data to detect whether the container are under a certain load and looks if they need scaling. OpenFaaS functions, yeah, they can be triggered easily by any kind of event. Here are just some examples. The default, the standard method to interact with your functions is HTTP, the webhooks. Another form I will show during the demo will be the command line interface by using the function name. And then you can also schedule your functions with a timetable and use cron. These are only a few examples because you can add your own event sources. Yeah, you can do anything you want. You can use these AFTTT, if then that, or anything else, different services. I will show you during the demo live, but I have a screenshot for you first. This is the GUI, yeah? That's the so-called OpenFaaS portal. And from here, with deploy new function, you go into the store, you get a list. This is the store. Here are your functions, and then you can choose one, deploy it, etc. We will do it later on a little bit deeper. OpenFaaS comes with this command line interface, and this command line interface gives you the full control about your functions. You can manage the full life cycle of a function. Yeah? You can create them, build them, deploy them, remove them with your command line interface. And if you are looking for a description about the command line interface, just go onto GitHub. There is a great community, and there is everything what you need for the way of installing also your command line interface. You can just pick the applicable one to your own operating system. Okay, here we go. So OpenFaaS CLI has a template system. Yeah? This is built into OpenFaaS, and this can create new functions in each programming language. The templates, they are based upon a common format to produce this Docker image. It is the so-called Docker file. Then you have a stack YAML file, and you have a handler. Yeah? You have these three. We will see afterwards also. As soon as you use the new command and create a new function, then these three will be generated. So the Docker file is the construction guidance, yeah, for a container image. It contains the instructions for building and packaging the container. Then we have the handler. The handler contains the whole framework for the function. Later on, I would like to show you also how we can change the code. And then the stack YAML file. Yeah? With the stack YAML file, you can group your functions. You can hold one to many functions separated by separate entries. Like in the YAML file, you write function 1, function 2, function 3. Yeah? OpenFaaS packages functions into Docker images, and that runs as a serverless function. So, and OpenFaaS templates, yeah, they abstract away the boilerplate coding totally. I retrieved from the repository from GitHub the actual list of the templates you can see here in any language. Yeah, here, Ruby, Python, Java, you have everything. And if something else is missing, just go on GitHub, talk to the community, and you can generate your own one. Here are the templates from the GitHub. And I would like to show you also just a view into this so-called YAML file. Yeah, we do it later on. It looks like this. You go into this YAML file, and then you can set here your variables for the environment, like the gateway, yeah, your image, your secret. Here in the YAML file, you can set your configuration for your environment. And this means also that you can have a single file with multiple configuration options, such as when you have different users or different environments. Yeah? And these variables you can set with an external file, or we do it today in the demo straight into the YAML file. Oh, by the way, so you can see here the secret. Yeah? Do not store confidential information or data in your variables here. Use your secrets. OpenFaaS is working with secrets for confidential or private data, for API tokens or passwords. You can specify a secret. Using a secret is a two-step process. First, you need to define a new secret in your cluster, and then you need to use this secret to your function by adding it into the deployment request, or, as mentioned before, into the YAML file. Yeah? And the secrets must exist in the cluster at the deployment time. And you can create, list, delete, update your secrets with the command line interface. Here we see the command pattern for creating a new function. It's very easy, yeah, to create a new function with a template. With the new command, you see FaaS CLI new, and this requires also a function name, and then the language, and you choose a template. And that's it. You have a function. You deploy it. This works straight away. It's an executable function, what you have. Then you have to use the build command. With build command, you instruct Docker to use the Docker file from the template, and this contains the instructions for building and packaging your container. Each change in your code, I will show you this also during the demo. When we go into the code and we change it, you have to build it new, yeah, again. You have to issue this again and again. And then the third command is push. With push command, the image built into your local Docker library will be pushed into a remote Docker registry. Here, for example, it will be the Docker Hub. I will use the Docker Hub today. And then, after building, execute deploy command to deploy your function into your cluster. And with this, you inform OpenFaaS where to get it. And last but not least, we have remove. If you want to delete your function, then execute FaaS CLI remove function name, and you can delete the function. So before we go over to the demo, here, the system overview I'm working with. So on the one hand side, we have the virtual machine, my development machine. Here is my FaaS CLI. With a build, we will build a container image and push it up to the Docker Hub you see at the top. On the other hand, I have a minikube, Kubernetes, the smallest minikube, the installation, and there is my OpenFaaS with the deploy command. You say to OpenFaaS where to get the container image, and then you pull it and execute it. Prometheus. Yeah. Prometheus scrapes metrics either directly or via an intermediate push gateway. It runs rules over all these data, aggregates them, and it can also record new time series about your data from all the existing data, and it can generate alerts. OpenFaaS uses these metrics and alerts to scale the functions up or down. And all these collected data you can use also to visualize. And this is done by Grafana. Auto-scaling, you can scale your functions up or down depending on demand. The alert manager reads the usage of the metrics from Prometheus, yeah? And then it can fire an alert to the API gateway. This auto-scaling can be disabled. One, by deleting the alert during the deployment, or you can scale it down to 0 replicas. The initial minimum and maximum for the replica count, yeah, can be set during the deployment. The minimum is set as default to 1 replica, and the max is set to 20. And OpenFaaS scale factor by default is set to 20%. You have to set a value between 0 and 100, including the borders. Here, in short, my software setup, so OpenFaaS deployment to Kubernetes, or it can be done also to a Docker swarm. Here in this case, we are using Minikube. Then you can make the deployment to Kubernetes via Helm or with the plain YAML files. Then further install CLI, Docker, and your preferred programming language, and you can go on. Here we go. Then let's start with the demo. That was our first part. First, as I mentioned, we have the Kubernetes. And if you have deployed your OpenFaaS into the recommended namespaces, then here at the namespaces, you will see OpenFaaS on the one hand side, and then you see also your OpenFaaS FN with FN for functions, or your functions which are deployed. Let's see the deployments. Here we go. Yeah. These are the functions what you can see in your deployment. And in OpenFaaS, you see all your core services like Prometheus, Grafana, your gateway, alert manager, etc. So this is the GUI, the OpenFaaS portal. On the one hand side, you see all the deployed functions, what you have, and let's go and deploy a new function. You open with deploy new function, your store, and from here you can choose a function. I would like to take today Figlet. Figlet is very funny. So yeah, this function is generating a text banner. You click and wait until it is ready to invoke. Here it is. And you can send a text like, hello, Bratislava. You invoke it, and as you can see, when it's hello, Bratislava, so you execute it. This is one click, very easy. If you don't need it, then you go here, one click, and delete it. Let's go now to the command line interface, and then we create a new function. Is it better like that? Can you see it now? All right. Okay. We take first mentioned, FaaS CLI new. We go in, insert. I call the function name is OpenSlava. Yeah? That's the function OpenSlava, and I take the language template Go. So FaaS CLI new, my function OpenSlava Go. Return. You can read here. The function is created. All right. Let's see the generated files and folders, where they are. Now we have the YAML file here, and a folder with the function name, OpenSlava, is also created. If you go in, we have the handler file inside, and in the handler we have the function. Let's go back, and then first here set the variables for the environment. First, I insert my IP for the Minikube. Is it gateway? And for my Docker Hub, I will insert the secret. Where to? All right. Save. And here we go. Now, close OpenSlava. Now, the first command pattern, build. We insert build, FaaS CLI, build, OpenSlava YAML. Yes, it's building. You can see the building OpenSlava is done. Let's go. We make push. Tick, tick. Insert, FaaS CLI, push, insert, pushing OpenSlava, and it's done. And the last step, we deploy it. And if we deploy it, we will see it on our GUI, the function. So please deploy. Deploying OpenSlava, it's ready. So let's go back. Here's the portal, and now we have OpenSlava here. After waiting a few seconds, it's ready to invoke. We invoke it. So the smallest function, hello Go, you said. Here is the response from the function, what you receive. The next step, what I would like to show you is to go into the handler file, change the code, and then after you change it, we have to deploy it again. So here we go. OpenSlava, the handler file, and we don't say hello, we say hello everybody. Save. So it's here. And for this, I will use a new command. Instead of using this 3 command pattern, yeah, build, push, and deploy, you can use one. This is called up. Yeah? If you take that one, let me insert it. You write fast CLI up, and with this command, you can automate all the 3, but you will see in the background, it's still here building first, yeah, and then it's pushing, and then deploying, all with one command line. We wait a little bit. So a few more seconds, I hope. Yes, ready. So deployed, accepted, deploying OpenSlava. Wonderful. Let's go back to the GUI, reload, just in case. OpenSlava, ready. And the code is changed, so easy it is. Hello, everybody. Yeah, that's it, we deployed it, and that's all. And the last part, what I would like to show you here during this demo, is the Prometheus. Yeah? Because I would like to show you the auto-scaling. If you start calling a function several times, yeah, you can generate load, and then it will start with auto-scaling. And I would like to show you this also. And for this, I prepared another function. This is called loadgen. Here, loadgen go. Invoke. And loadgen. Oh, by the way, yeah. Something very nice is also here. You have from your function the URL. This means if you go into your browser, you insert the URL of your function, you can invoke it from everywhere. Yeah? You are very flexible with that. And I'm doing this. And I would like to generate on the browser side now load, data load. For this, I invoke this function again and again. There's 2 events, start and stop. We start it. Let's run. It's an endless loop. And here you can see also, I hope you can see it, show host, and it shows you in the back on which pod it is running. And this means when the load is getting higher, the auto-scaling will start to distribute the load over more and more pods. To see this, I would like to open, not this one, but this one. Let's see here. Once more, you see all the functions I have and show host. You see, show host is coming, creating containers now. This is the best form to see it. Yeah? As more load is coming in, so more pods are generated. It's adding always +2 pods into it. And let's see it also with Grafana. I hope, yeah, to visualize it. This is Grafana dashboard. All right. And now, here is the load coming. So please excuse, but this is going to take a little bit time, you know? It has to generate more and more, few minutes long load, data load from the front end. And within time, you will see here the replica scaling, which is going also up. And you see here your load. We can wait a little bit, but let's check once more here. Yeah. The one point is with the auto scaling, so I recognize it's going up and down. I don't know why. So, you know, first you have more and more pods, and then it's falling down. I think that's the point we have to clear. In the future, in the community, somehow, this will be developed. I cannot explain straight away what the reason behind this is, but I think this will go better in future. And with this, I would like to finish my demo, because this was a very quick and short overview about OpenFaaS with Kubernetes. And yeah, I would like to say thank you for your attention, and have a great day here on OpenSlava.